Greeting interwebs, this is Jackie K, and welcome for another edition of Game and Chill. It's been a hot minute, and you'll probably be able to hear why it's been a hot minute. I mean, to be fair, it's not fair to blame that as the only reason. And hypothetically could have done at least a few recording sessions before I got sick. But here we are. Now, I think I'm going to skip the formalities of doing the whole channel update, what are my plans for the month and all that, because, long story short, there is no plans. I'm not even going to try to make any videos until I'm feeling better, and honestly, a lot of the game design stuff I've been investing my time into as of late, I've been a lot more interested in doing that than I have actually making videos. I have some ideas of that I might come back into once I'm feeling better, but I'm not gonna worry about it until that time comes. Especially because this cold or whatever, it's been incredibly stubborn, and the only reason I haven't really called about it is because outside of the coughing and the stuffiness, there hasn't really been anything too major about it. Yeah, the main reason why I'm doing this instead of streaming. Recording something like this is at least casual enough that I don't have to worry if my commentary isn't peak. And being post-production, I can cut around all the coughs that are inevitably going to happen. As for what we're gonna go after, what I'm gonna catch, I'm just playing it by ear. After getting all the shiny Hissui Pokemon, I don't really have a set plan of what I even want to go for. Closest thing I can think of is that, I would still love to have a bird mic to go along with the Hissui Evolutions they actually got. But I'm not really even sure about. But I'm just gonna keep that in mind if we get mass outbreaks in the area. Yeah, I just flat out don't really feel in the condition to do streaming, and I'm only doing this because I've just really been missing doing it. I've been all over the... plus it's been, all over the place. I don't really recall if I've even done a Game and Chill since the whole Hissui hunt. Remind me at the end of the video to actually evolve the Pokemon, because off-screen I did do some, grinding to get a bunch of my shiny Hisuis ready for evolution, so I could end the game with, at least the final evolutionary line for each shiny Hissui Pokemon. Actually, due to the magic of post-production, you can't exactly tell me before it's too late, but, it's more for my reference than anything. Oh yeah, I was tempted to do this Game and Chill Legends ZA just to see how it would go, but I don't know. For one, despite the DLC being out forever, I'm still working my way through the main game. I haven't even beaten it yet. And two, I'm still not really convinced that the wild zones are really big enough to actually have a similar Game and Chill experience than it is here. If I actually beat the main story, maybe I would at least try it, but this is kind of... Legends Arceus has always been my comfort game, so when I want to do a recording after not recording anything with commentary for so long, I'm gonna just stick to this. I guess you can tell me, if anyone's watching, you can tell me if you really want to see Z8. Oh yeah, I'm also right in the part of the story where it would feel really awkward to make detours. Mostly because of a rich snob stalking me to freakish levels. Waiting until I'm done to go back to her little fancy setup. If you played the game, you probably know. I don't know. Speaking of ZA, I had fun. Though I think I started falling off it when I got to the part of the game where my friend sold my soul to the Mafia. If you know, you know. The story hasn't really clicked with me as much since that point, and because of that, it kind of just turned into a treadmill game, aka something I only play while I'm on the treadmill. But I don't even think I played on the treadmill the past few treadmill sessions. I do get the feeling I will on the next treadmill session, though. About time, that took way too— oh, they see me. This is going fantastic. There are no problems here. There are no problems whatsoever. Well, Lamoon, let's see what you can do. Because I don't even think it's worth trying the Pokedex grind off these guys. I guess that whole tangent was to say, in some sense I've given up on listening to EA, but not to the point where I would say I will never finish the game. It's not a sword and shield situation where I kind of just stop before the Pokemon League to make a statement or something. It's a game I'm just gonna play when I'm feeling up to it at this point, and I've just been playing through it slowly as is. Late and slowly, because mind you, remember that I didn't even have a Switch 2 on the last game show, and I'm pretty sure Legends of EA was well out at that point. Oh! Water Pulse is a weird fancy move for a Pokemon like Spiritomb to have. I forget if there was anything more to that Legends of EA tangent. So, I guess I could talk about the one thing that I have been able to do during all this sick shenanigans stuff. And that's the game development. Things on the game development end. Fire Brand Dash is coming along pretty well. If it wasn't for the fact that something else came up this week, I would say that the next build of it that I want to share with the public would be out by the time you see this video, but because of that side project, that probably won't be the case. The side project, though, is interesting, and I swear it is worth making the tangent over. I'm taking part in my first game jam. I don't know, one of my goals, another thing that I'll have to remember to talk more about when I'm feeling better, was to take part in at least one game jam. And I don't know, one day when I was really sick, I was just browsing itch for game jams, and I came across this cute one that was a cozy winter theme. So I decided just to join it for the heck of it, and oh yeah, since I thought I would be done with Fire Brand Dash by the time that started, but because I was browsing when I was half awake, I paid no attention to when the startup time was, and while I could just leave, I was too excited about the theme to do so. I really wanted to take part in this one. It is probably a good time to like pop up some footage of what I've done so far. It's only like a few seconds. Maybe by the time, maybe I'll have something more to share by the time I finish editing this. Yeah, part of me was thinking about like alternating between finishing up Fire Brand Dash and this game jam, but since the game jam is only for 2 weeks, and I've never made a game with that strict of a time frame before, I'm gonna make sure that I prioritize the game jam, especially because I can always come back to the other thing later. It just sucks because I was just about ready to share it, and yet here we are. I guess I'll see you when I finish taking care of these Spiritombs. Maybe I'll think of something interesting to talk about by then. Again, I might also make this a short game and chill, just because the whole sick thing in that. But I am really excited to do something like this again, so it's gonna take a lot to pull me away from it. Of course. Should have known that would have happened eventually. Part of the reason why I felt inclined to use the Max Potion rather than use Rest in the first place. I don't even know why I have Rest on Umbreon. Rest is not really a move I ever use, but it sure is coming handy in this particular scenario. And there's all the spirit tombs. Just in time for more of them to pop up. And no shiny, which was like the whole reason I was excited about all this. Ah well. Oops. Maybe I can take on one Alpha Spirit Team with its Pokemon, but there's two, so we're already kind of screwed. Great, and you gotta move on Quad Week 2. This is going great. You know what? Why am I even going for the trouble of trying to catch these guys? My first instinct is for the money, but have you seen my progress in this game? That's not exactly an issue. It's not really something that's been an issue forever. But I mean, they're just sitting there at red health. How can I not? Like, there's no way it's gonna work, but let's see what I can pull off people with Pokemon. Nothing else, maybe I can get a Mimic off before I get knocked out. Good, because that attack was like take forever. And yet I have to probably do it like 7 more times before that Pokedex entry is done. Alright. That took forever. So that I can end the video off with at least talking about something neat. I did pull up my list of goals for the year. It's kind of still on the draft version because of the whole sickness thing. But there's at least a lot on it. So I guess I could share a few. I could like share a little bit off the top in that, just to kill some time. Starting off on the game design goals I have for the year. Right on the top of the list is to complete the Firebrand Dash demo. That's kind of just more of a formality than anything else, because practically it's just sitting there ready to be done. Just like one overview, make a few little promotional videos to let people know that it exists. And that would be it for that. Make at least 2 more worlds for Firebrand Dash. Yeah, I really want my goal for this year to be to actually finish Firebrand Dash as a whole and move on to other things. But with the plans I have so far for it, I don't know if that would be too realistic. So I'm just sticking to making 2 more worlds worth of levels for now. And if I get that done early enough in the year, we can always elaborate into something else. There's the whole take part in the game jam thing I mentioned before. Finish a few sprites. I don't know if I want to commit to this goal yet, but something I've written down is to like network with other people. At least like get a little bit more comfortable in the game development scene to actually have a little bit of a network. I cringe just saying it out loud though. And I think the other big thing with game design development goals I have for the year is just doing mock-ups so I can become more familiar with the elements that would make up my dream game. Like, flesh out, like actually learn how to make turn-based battles some more. Try to make like puzzles. So when I do get around to making my dream game, I'll actually be familiar with the 2 main components of it, the battle system and the dungeon puzzle element. Navigating an area, make a mock-up for navigating an area and interacting with the characters within it. That's a good one to be familiar with by the end of the year. And I'm probably missing something, but I'm kind of just jumping all over the place with that. I do have some goals that aren't exactly game design related, but are tied to OC stuff. First thing on here, write and share some more short stories like I did for that one video in Overseer October. Write a document write a mock-up of the story, even though it'll probably be changed by when they actually do get around to game development. Oh yeah, I want to like actually become comfortable enough with the anime player or whatever to actually make in-game cutscenes. That would be a huge step forward in the game design patches, because so far I've been kind of doing just like kind of a pseudo shortcut, which is more just a dialogue box than it is actual cutscenes. So being able to actually make in-game cutscenes would be amazing. I wouldn't hold promises, but still. Oh yeah, because I almost didn't do anything for November, I want to make sure I actually do stuff for my own. Actually, like, make November specific drawings. And the art bingo board that I shared on Blue Sky, I'm gonna just... I was already planning to work on that, but just make sure that I keep working on that. I was able to complete the art bingo board completely last year, so that feels like a very easy goal to keep to for this year as well. Well, salutes to you, Torterra. Who would win? An overgrown, oversized baby? Or a poisonous scorpion? Let's find out. I'm not quite sure if I really have anything else I want to talk about. Oh, I do get the one thing in here to actually get out to 2 conventions this year. I specifically put 2 because technically I did 1 convention last year, but it was so small it barely counts as a convention. So this year I'm gonna my goal is to actually try to go to a convention. If I put 2, I can't take shortcuts, allegedly. There's also some other personal things, like reach out to friends more often, and... Oh, here's one that I'm gonna try to do, and I encourage you all to do as well. Take time to compliment artists and creators when I enjoy something they create. I totally forgot about this one. Really shouldn't have. So I guess this is a good reminder to myself. Once a week, scroll through my video watch history, go back and leave comments on videos that I enjoy. Get in a better habit of complimenting artists when I see something they post on social media. It's so easy to just hit the like button and move on, but I know that it means a lot to them when you actually take the time to to leave a reply and talk about what you like about it. I even have on here, nice job is fine, but try to open up by going into detail of what you enjoy every now and then. And I guess the only other thing left on the goal list that I actually want to talk about are just some health stuff, like try to drink less Mountain Dew, look into ways that I can improve my diet, but don't feel too intrusive. Keep up with my daily habit of going for a walk every 30 minutes, and continue to go out to actually walk outside in parks during the weekend. And that's about all the goals that come to mind at the moment. I would normally just wait until I actually fleshed out the list, but considering how things panned out last year, let's be real, that moment's never gonna happen. It didn't happen last year for Game Chill. Kinda doubt that'll happen this year. Although, when it comes to coming up with conversation topics, I guess we could review my goal list I never really fleshed out and see how well I did. Oh, it could be better. Say that. Of the things I have, talking Game Chill, make progress in my God journey, divide it up into subcategories, finish Fire Brand Dash, technically haven't done that yet, have a basic understanding of how to program RPGs and got it. Barely spent any time on that, but I did make a turn-based battle in the most rudimentary form possible. Wait, where's the Skarubies? I thought I defeated them all already. Oh, I guess there's this little straggler. Yeah, that's literally the next bullet point I have on here. Make one playable RPG battle with my OCs. Make a small game jam size game for holidays like April Fool's, Thanksgiving, or Christmas. I'm counting the Kremlin blast thing towards that. Finalize any updates for Dawn Jin and solidify my modding future. Long story short, I'm done with it, so that counts. Oh, there's something in the trees. I've done all the Burmese I could possibly ever need, so I don't know why I bother, but at least gives me one check mark off the list by doing like one single move. So it works when it works. The next goal I have on here is have a more consistent recording stream schedule that doesn't take away too much from the game development goals. I overall have to highlight it as red. We'll get into the bullet points and you see what I mean. Get to a point where I'm constantly streaming twice a week. That didn't really pan out. Alternate between recording and streaming every week. That didn't pan out. Go back to making more casual, low editing video series, especially if I actually want to pursue my other goals. I have that as yellow because, yeah, technically. Make a monthly, bi-monthly video series, specifically talking about progress I've been making with Godot. Yeah, I wasn't consistent with uploading the series, but I did make it, and I did have a decent vlog, or I've made a decent amount of videos vlogging my progress in game design. So it's yellow, but I guess I would count that as green, especially because this year in particular I'm going to worry less about actually making X, Y, Z number of videos per X, Y, Z. Do another Overseer October where I focus on the antagonist of my OC series. That panned out, that was a success. Actually really proud of the videos I did for the Shadow Claws in particular. It's a bit of a shame they never got around to that other antagonist video like I wanted, but I think I ultimately decided that I'll save that for one of the things I do for next year's Overseer October. Wait, where are all the bonds lies? Yeah, I know there's more of them somewhere. Where did they all go? Right, you tap down the control stick. I'm actually kind of surprised of how quickly I got back into the control scheme of Legends Arceus. Pretty sure the last thing I played was Legends ZA, so I could have sworn I would have been more thrown off by the Pokeball throwing and stuff like that, because it took me forever to adjust from Legends ZA, or from Legends Arceus Pokeball system, or control scheme as a whole, to Legends ZA's. So I assume vice versa would be a bit of an issue, especially because there's been times I played this game on my own time, and I did actually fumble the controls once or twice. Not this time, apparently. Got a little sidetracked though. The goals. Have some sort of fun April Fool's video, and actually start working on it before March. Considering how the Kremlin last thing went, I say that goal was a success. A lot of these I have listed as personal miscellaneous, but since we're in the middle of catching things still, let me take a quick skim, and I'll tell you if there's anything I want to share. Yeah, long story short, most of it is in the red or the yellow. The few things that were in the green was try to get my external drive working enough to recover files, and get it to a point where I have no regrets. I mean, technically I'm done with messing with that hard drive. I kind of wish I got more off it, but that's besides the point. And then then I did go to at least one convention this year. Barely made that one. A lot of other things were in the red, including a lot of personal goals I moved over to this year. So, yeah. I don't even think I want to bother with this wind-up. We got a pretty decently long game and chill as is. So I kind of feel bad that we didn't get for one mass outbreak, but I kind of had a feeling that this could happen. I've run out of things to talk about. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The Hissui Evolutions. Got them all in the box here. And the ones that need to evolve yet, in order for me to mark off every page with a Hissui Pokemon that's shiny. they have all been taken care of off screen. So, which one they didn't grab? Leaf Stone? Because I don't really remember off the top of my head if Voltorb requires the Thunderstone or the Leaf Stone to evolve in this game. Maybe I'll just withdraw all my evolution items just so I don't make multiple trips back and forth. See, I knew I should have grabbed both because I mistaken the Razor Fang for the Razor Claw. Where do we even start, though? Top to bottom works for me. Now, I was gonna say before, this did require a little bit of a detour because after I was so excited about getting the shiny Petalito, I evolved it immediately and didn't realize until after I recorded the video that there was one little problem. I never sent the shiny Petalito to Pokemon Home before evolving it. So, if I ever, for whatever crazy reason, wanted to do a full shiny Pokedex in Pokemon Home, I would have to catch another shiny Petalito. Welp. To be fair, at least it was a at least as far as I can tell, there's no regional variant of Petalito in particular. So, any old Petalito I stumble upon, I mean, with Pokemon Home, or I mean Pokemon Go, you think I would stumble upon a shiny Petalito, a spare one to bring into the game anyways, one way or another. Dang, we got some pretty cool shinies already. I already know what Overflow looks like because I think I caught an evolved one in Pokemon Go in particular. Waydeer I should be familiar with because of my runs in Pokemon Umbral Rogue. I kind of forgot about that one, I think. Or maybe it just looks different because it's a 3D model and not a sprite. That's pretty beautiful. Electrode is kind of self-explanatory. But man, Shiny Basket Legion looks so cool. Which is great because that kind of just makes up for how underwhelming Shiny Basculin is. Especially the flashback that I got to chain fishing it in X and Y. And we got a Shiny Weavile. Definitely a different color, cool is alright. Though I'm not sure if it's just the game. But it feels a little like desaturated, for lack of a better way to describe it. I think that's just the Pokemon is... I think it's just the way things look, I suppose. Maybe I've become too spoiled on Switch 2 graphics from playing Kirby Air Riders that I haven't even noticed. That was like kind of like my biggest fear with upgrading to next gen, but enough worrying about that. Let's take a look at all the cool Pokemon that we got fully evolved now. And you can come out here too, just for the heck of it. Find a good angle that like everyone can shine in. Works for me. Oh yeah, I should probably like... That was a weird time for that noise. Let me just tap everyone's Pokedex entry too while I'm thinking of it. And I think that's the last of it. Everyone else has their Pokedex entry set. So now I think it's a good time to actually bid you all adieu. Thank you all for tuning in for this edition of Game & Chill. And with everything going on, I can't quite say when the next one will be. But hopefully, regardless, I'll see you all again. Take care.